Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlene and today I am going to be doing the Booktube Newbie Tag. I thought with my channel being fairly new, now would be a good time to go ahead and do this tag. There are 11 questions, so let's just go ahead and get into them. Question number 1 is, why did you start this channel? And the main reasons I started this channel were because I wanted to have more people that I could talk about books with. And while I do watch booktube videos and comment on them, sometimes I want to talk about the books that I'm reading with other people. And it's hard if the people whose videos I'm watching haven't read those books. So this way I can talk about books I'm reading, and then we can also talk about books that I haven't read. So the second question is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? Honestly, this question was the one that made me not want to do this tag. And I think a lot of it is just the way that it's phrased. As far as fun and unique, I don't know. There are so many people on Booktube who bring so many different things to it. I don't know what is specifically fun, I'm going to put that in quotes, or unique about me. And as new as the channel is, I have no idea what I'm going to do on here for sure that would be fun and unique. I have a few ideas of things that I would like to do, but since I don't know if I'm going to or not, a lot of it just depends on what videos I end up enjoying making, the type of people who follow me, what you guys are interested in, things like that. So at this point in time, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But I do enjoy a wide variety of genres. I read from a wide variety of age categories. And I feel like there are more people on Booktube who tend to fall into certain niches based on whether they read classics or historical fiction or contemporary romance or things like that. And since I read from a variety of genres, that might be different. But other than that, I'm not entirely certain at this point in time what would be fun and unique. Some of it will depend on what I come up with as I make content for this channel as well. Question number 3 is, what are you most excited for with this new channel? And the main thing I'm excited for is getting to meet new people. Again, there are a lot of people on Booktube, and I know there are a lot of people that I haven't discovered yet. So I'm looking forward to hopefully meeting some new people through this channel. Question number 4 is, why do you love reading? And the simplest answer I have for this is, I love reading because it gives me the opportunity to essentially live lives that I would never get to live. I get to see the world through different people's eyes. I get to essentially travel to different countries, view different cultures in ways that I would never be able to in my real life. And that's the part that I love most about books, is the experiences that you can almost feel like you live out just by reading a book. Or if not live out, you at least feel like you understand their perspective and you understand where people are coming from the books that you've read in ways that you can't just by living your own life. Question number 5 is, what book got you into reading? Does Dr. Seuss count? I can't actually remember a specific time in my life when I was not reading. I'm guessing I learned to read somewhere around age 4. I know I was reading at least a little bit before I started kindergarten, and I can't remember specifically learning to read. And I feel like for the most part, since I was able to read, I've enjoyed reading. Where I probably really got started on reading books would have been, I would guess, about 2nd grade or so, when I was finally able to read chapter books. And I read in like 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade, I read a lot of Beverly Cleary books. I read Betty Wren Wright books, which I feel like she's not as well known, but she basically writes horror middle grade. Most of them are ghost stories, and in a lot of them, the ghosts turn out to actually be ghosts. I loved those books as a kid. I can't do ghost and horror stories now, but I loved them as a kid. Those are the main ones I remember reading. I remember the Choose Your Own Adventure books. I read a lot in elementary school, but as far as consistently reading authors, Beverly Cleary and Betty Wren Wright are the two that I read the most. So if I wanted to say any one author got me into reading, or any particular authors got me into reading, it would be those two. Question number 6 is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I'm not sure on this one. The main thing that comes to mind is mostly questions of how do you schedule the time? How do you make the time for it? How do you balance having a YouTube channel with everything else that you have? That's the main one that I can think of, to be honest. Question number 7 is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? And this is an easy one, time. Just the time to be able to film. I have 2 kids. They're 5 and 7. They're very energetic, and really the only time I'm going to be able to film is when they're not in the house. So I have to utilize what time I have when they're out of the house to film, and then still find time to edit and everything while they're in the house. So time is going to be the biggest one. Question number 8 is, when did you start reading? And I guess I already kind of answered this, sorry. Like I said, I'm guessing around age 4. I know as far as starting to read, starting to recognize words, I would guess around age 4. Starting to really read, probably around, I would assume in kindergarten. I do remember learning to read some books. Like I remember learning how to sound out words when I was in kindergarten. I would say either age 4 or 5. I'm not entirely certain. Question number 9 is, where do you read? And the answer to this one is pretty much anywhere. I read in bed, I read on the couch, I read at the dining room table, I read in the car, the doctor's office. If I have the time and I have a book with me, I will read. Question 10 is, what kind of books do you like to read? And again, apparently I already kind of answered this, sorry. I read a wide variety. I read middle grade, some YA. I don't read as much YA as middle grade, but middle grade YA and adult. I read fantasy, sci-fi, classics, historical fiction, some mystery thrillers, some contemporaries. I do read some manga and graphic novels as well. I generally say I will read pretty much anything other than horror and most romance. I can do some contemporary romance, especially the cleaner contemporary romance, but beyond that, not really. And question number 11 is, what does your book collection look like? And it's right here behind me. But if you want a better idea of what my book collection looks like, I have a bookshelf tour that I did as part of a 6-video series to start out this channel, and it will be linked down in the description below. So you can feel free to check it out and see what all the books are that I own. All right, so those are all of the questions. That was pretty quick and painless. If there are any other questions you guys have for me that you would like to know, feel free to ask them down in the description below, and I'll do my best to answer them. I will also link the first 6 videos that I posted on this channel down in the description. I posted them 6 days in a row. This is the first video following that. So this is the last time I will link them, but in case this is the first video you're seeing from me, you can go ahead and use the links down below to go check out those videos. I will be posting videos every Monday and every second and fourth Thursday of the month. So feel free to subscribe below if you want to be notified when those videos come out. And until then, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later.